It looks like it's mostly done, but there's actually quite a bit left to do. We've got to get our baseboard put on. We got a little trench dug so we can get our baseboards down below ground level. We're gonna put woven fabric in there before we put the baseboard in, and then my cousin just brought me a load of crusher run gravel, so that will be going in these trenches in between the greenhouses. We got a little bit of hand fine grading to do here. You can't really get a piece of equipment in here, it's not big enough. There's only like 8 feet to separate these greenhouses, so there's not enough space there to do anything with a piece of equipment. We're gonna have to get in here, we'll pull a string, shoot it with transit, get it where we want it, and do some raking and shoveling and get that dialed the way we want it, cover it with ground cover, and then cover the ground cover with rock. I've got the wire locks down the sides. The guys today, while I was gone, got our wire lock track put around the end bows, so that is one more thing checked off. We just got to get our baseboards on and a few little odd and ends, and we'll be able to put a cover on top of it. Then we'll just have to build end walls and get those covered. So over here we've got a second one started. All the ground posts are driven, so that's a lot of the hard work out of the way there. This is a small greenhouse that's at my house where I live at. It's been in a few videos, none recently that I recall, but we're gonna take it down and it's going here. And I'm still on the fence about maybe pouring a concrete floor in this one. I'm not sure yet, but anyway, this is going to be a small Quonset style, 15 foot wide, 40 foot long. This is our germination house. This is where we start all of our plug flats, all of our tomatoes, peppers, eggplant, cabbage, broccoli, anything that's small seeded, we start in plug flats. There are 392 cells. They all start their life in this greenhouse. And since we've started selling vegetable plants in the spring, we seed a lot of trays. So that's where everything will begin its life. We may, to a certain extent, start squash and watermelons and cantaloupes and things of that nature in here when we have room. So that's where we're at and what we got going on. I'm going to get the guys and we're gonna get a couple more posts set and start getting some baseboards up. Boys are getting with it out here. I got this lifted last night. Looks like it's coming up pretty good for them. Hopefully it is. I've found the key to success with lifting plastic mulch is the cleaner you can get the field before you start, better off you're going to be. That usually means bush hogging and spraying, or vice versa. If you can spray it with Roundup 3 weeks before you need to lift it, that is the most ideal situation. But if not, Germination a week ahead of time will get the job done usually. Bush hogging for sure. I'm trying to get all this plastic lifted in a timely manner and get all the fields worked down, because I need to get everything ripped, chiseled, disc, and on some of the farm, some of our earlier stuff, I'm gonna spread fertilize and lay plastic on. I really need to get all this done before it starts raining, because the past couple of years it seems like we are super dry in the fall and then all of a sudden it starts raining and it doesn't stop. One of the problems that you have with produce farming is we work the ground so much because we have to in order to lay plastic. And I know there's no-till options out there. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any kind of problems with regenerative ag or any kind of conservation practice at all. I have a problem with losing money, and there is so far been no comparison between bare ground versus plastic mulch. And if you take the working the ground, aka no-till, out of the equation, I'm going to say that your yields would go down dramatically more. But all that said, we work the ground, which causes compaction, and produce farming is traffic intensive to the field. So there's a lot of vehicles that have to run in and out of the field all season long. Take tomatoes, for instance. They have to be picked every day or every other day when they are really putting off. So there's a lot of traffic through the field, and that has caused me to have a pretty significant hard pan that I've really just kind of figured out that I've got. Now I do chisel plow because that's supposed to be less problematic than turning, but I found out with these strawberries, when I had a little bit of erosion right after we laid plastic, that about 6 inches down I've got basically what amounts to a slab of concrete. So we've got to get that taken care of so that we can put some roots down deeper and hopefully get some better crop yields. So we got pretty busy yesterday, and I didn't turn the camera on after that little time lapse, but we've got some rain coming here pretty soon, so we're really pushing, trying to get as much done today as we can, because like I've said, we're running out of time before these boys leave for the year. So we've gone down the sides. We pulled a string line on the other side to make sure the water was going to drain properly, and we wasn't having puddles. Went down and kind of hand slicked everything with rakes. Now we're putting this fabric down the outside edges, weed barrier, and we'll put gravel on top of that. We've already got our crusher run sitting here, and I'm in the process of trying to get these baseboards cut. Now this is a high tunnel, not a greenhouse, so we do have fall in the floor of it, so the water will run out of it because we will be doing a lot of irrigating. Don't want to stand in water. Probably not 100% necessary, but it's the way I like to do it. So we're running treated 2x10s down, and right now I'm ripping some down and getting this ready. We dug a little trench so we can get them below ground level, and we're going to put rock up to the front of them. This whole ditch between these two greenhouses here will be full of rock, and with weed barrier under it. I've found that that's the best way, instead of trying to mess with grass and having erosion issues. Put that rock down, it's kind of one and done. Spray it Roundup, don't worry about it. So that's kind of where we're at right now, trying to get some baseboard bolted up. You can see our sidewalls on this particular greenhouse. They're gonna be much higher than any of our others, which is good because this is a high tunnel and there's not gonna be any artificial ventilation in it, at least not to start with. So it's gonna be really good to have these high sides and the big doors on the ends that we can throw open and get just as much natural ventilation through this thing as possible. So we have got one side 100% done. We've got end walls to do, and we got to get the baseboard and the gravel ground cover and everything on the other side. Probably the next video I put out is going to be of us covering this thing, I hope very soon. So I appreciate you guys watching very much, and I will see you on the next one.